Hey you guys, and I'm back with a second installment of my week 5 challenge, I guess. I'm back to doing my circuitry video and my Arduino videos, coding videos at the same time, because this one is very code heavy, whereas it's not very circuit heavy. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about what I'm building while I am talking about the code. So I am going to be using a temperature pin, and so in my coding I'm defining that as a constant integer, and I'm going to be connecting that to a 0. So I'm going to be setting these up in F5, F6, and F7. So I'm going to be doing that, F5, F6, and F7. And this has a 3-prong, just like the RBG LED, so 3 different ones, and that is going to be set up and defined through the output of analog 0. So I'm going to connect that one through J6, the main pin, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect the ground and negative pins. And then I'm going to connect the, let's see, I need a long one, positive and voltage. Okay. So the other ones I'm missing are just the really quick ones here. Very simple. As I drop the wire, going from 5 to negative, and then going from 7 to positive. These little black things on, there we go. They were kind of hard getting snug. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires according to my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. All right, so all this one really is giving an output on here. There's nothing actually happening on the board. The only thing is an input from the temperature, and it basically is saying like how much is being inputted, so, or like the temperature of what's being inputted. And so going back to my code, sorry if it was boring to watch my code one for the last, I don't know, 2 minutes. So we're going to be outputting not onto the board, but onto a serial monitor, which I've shown you guys before is just taken from the serial monitor in the tools menu. So nothing actually is going to be happening here on the board at all. It's going to be all coming through here, and that's where the serial.begin shows up. And so what we have here is we're actually going to be using, instead of an integer, we're going to be using a float, and a float basically is just able to use decimals instead of just being able to be whole round numbers. So we're going to be using 3 variables. We're going to define voltage, degrees Celsius, and degrees Fahrenheit. And then the first things we're going to do is going to be defining those 3 things: voltage, degrees Celsius, and degrees Fahrenheit, and it gives you the math problems on how that's going to be done, and then how it's going to print. It's going to print the voltage, it's going to print the Celsius, and it's going to print the Fahrenheit, and then it's going to delay for 1,000 milliseconds or 1 second, and then it's going to float get voltage all over again, and it's going to basically repeat and print. So in looking for that, we're going to go ahead and upload this, get the serial monitor going, and then seeing what the just normal room temperature in my house is, which is 76, and you can see it's fluctuating a little bit on the oh my gosh, the code, the window, so it's 76.47. So I am going to show you something interesting, something to test it, and I have my hair dryer. So so that really didn't seem to have very much effect. It did dip down to 73 for a little bit there, but I'm going to go ahead and put it onto a regular heat and see if that has any effect. I only did that for a couple of seconds, and if you can see the coding, it automatically started jumping up to 78, 86, 94, 102, 109. It got up to a high of about 126 degrees Fahrenheit, and so that is definitely working. And so in the next video, I'm going to be extending this to see how I can use temperature to control an LED.